There are some weird things that wash up on beaches, and it's not all plastic, not even close. Although our plastic in the ocean is getting pretty bad, I'll leave that for another video. You've heard the stories, seen the pictures, read about some of these things, but how much do you really know? There are some weird things, some gross things, some valuable things, and so much more that wash up on our beaches regularly, and I'm here to bring you some interesting ones. Sit back and get ready for strange things washed up on beaches. Number 11. Buoy bomb, same thing. Back in 2015, a family was having a beautiful beach day in Wales when their beautiful day was ruined by a bomb, as you can see in this picture. Just kidding. Their day was actually made more fun by a bomb. Yes, a real-life bomb. Gareth Gravel let his kids climb all over, touch and play with a weapon that had washed ashore and was covered in barnacles. The thing is, he and his family thought it was an old buoy, so they didn't know that there was any danger involved. Soon after their fun time playing with something that explodes, Gravel recognized the object pictured here due to a story he read about a bomb from the Second World War. He soon learned the police had been summoned after the device had been discovered by county council rangers, and members of the Royal Navy bomb disposal team were called to take care of business. Dozens of people showed up to watch it be blown up. You can see that in this picture. It was the same bomb that his children had been climbing on. Gravel was shocked. Dun dun dun. Number 10. It's like heaven. What you see in this picture looks like a great beach day to me, despite it looking cold and the water looking rough. I mean, just look at all this coffee. In December of 2015, hundreds and hundreds of cans of vacuum-sealed cans of Cafe Bustelo coffee began washing up on the shores of a beach in Florida, and it made those who visited the beach very happy, as you can see by this picture. I mean, who's gonna lay claim to those? I'd be set for a year. Florida Today, a news outlet in Florida, said they might have fallen from a barge between Palm Beach and Cape Canaveral. The Coast Guard reported that as many as 25 different containers might have fallen into the water, one of which contained batteries. Tisk tisk. And we wonder why our oceans are all messed up. Number 9. Megalodon Teeth? There were reports back in 2015 of mysterious and colossal shark teeth, as you can see in this picture, washing up on the shores of North Topsail Beach and other locations in southeastern North Carolina. It's believed that they would have been turned up by recent high tide cycles and coastal storms. It's not that shark teeth were washing up on shores that's interesting here. It's the fact that the pictures people began posting belonged, without a doubt, to the believed extinct giant prehistoric shark, as you can see in this picture. Findings of the Megalodon teeth aren't unheard of, but they are quite rare and unusual. As you can see in this picture, the teeth are giant, and if confirmed, would be a pretty exciting find. Number 8. Falcon 9. How cool would it be to be vacationing, just kicking back on the porch of your beach house when you spot something in the ocean, something headed inland? Upon closer inspection, after pulling the object out from the water, you realize that it's a big piece of SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket, which still holds GoPro cameras inside. Well, that's what happened to Kevin Eichelberger and his friends in 2015, as you can see in this picture. Eichelberger sent a tweet to Elon Musk about the wreckage and spent a long weekend unanswered, but Musk tweeted him back after a few days, thanking Kevin for letting him know about the find. SpaceX wasn't interested in retrieving the debris, and eventually, Kevin and his buddies had to leave it on the beach because, as he said, the wreckage was far too heavy and big to get through customs and back to America. Falcon 9's booster failed to land after launch and blew up and fell into the sea. Number 7. All the notes. So, as you can see from this picture, this isn't really something strange that's washed up on a beach, but it is something pretty neat, and it's at the beach, so cut me some slack. There's a place called Oakville in Canada, where along a stone-strewn beach, you come across a bunch of rocks near Oakville's pier with messages of all kinds written on them, as you can see in this picture. Some are wishes and hopes and dreams, others are messages of love and advice. What started small has grown and grown, and Tracy White-Kerouac, a photographer who stumbled upon the rocks herself, has watched it grow. She remembers finding a tiny shrine of messages, like the one pictured here, and a few markers left behind, so she has no idea who started it. Since then, she's seen handfuls of rocks added daily, like the one you see here, and it is now a huge collection of thoughts of all kinds. She's even seen one of her dreams that she wrote down on a rock come true. She's become a full-time professional photographer instead of just doing it as a hobby after writing it on a stone here. There may be something to this. Number 6. Panagiotis. This super awesome shipwreck sits right out on the white sands, right in the open bay of Zakynthos. Navajo is the name of the beach that the ship sits on and is one of the most visited and beloved sites of the whole island. Thousands of florists flock to see the run-aground Panagiotis that has been abandoned here since the 1980s. Legend has it that the Scottish-built ship smuggled cigarettes, women, and wine in its time and was chased by the Greek Navy, and because of bad weather, the boat was pulled aground and the crew ran out to escape. The beach was once popular, but with a ship there, it has gained immense popularity and is one of the most photographed and visited beaches on Zakynthos due to the shipwreck and the crystal clear waters of the bay. It's stunning and I wouldn't mind visiting myself. Number 5. Olive Ridley sea turtles. These poor turtles apparently kept washing ashore in Oregon and Washington a few years ago, which was far away from where they were typically found, in Southern California or even farther south. Storms were thought to be maybe to blame for sending the Olive Ridleys so far off course into some severely cold waters for them. For weeks, turtles kept turning up on shore so cold and disoriented, sometimes injured, and one had even passed away. But scientists weren't 100% sure why. They believed massive storms mixed with the El Nino and a warm blob that had been hanging off the Pacific coast for a few years could all come together to create the perfect storm for the turtles and drive them into unintended waters. The turtles were treated, as seen in this picture, and handed off to aquariums for long-term rehabilitation and care. Number 4. Huge ice chunks. The big old suckers you see in this picture began washing up on the shores of Cape Cod, and sort of stunned everyone who lived in the area as something like that is pretty darn rare. A photographer that goes by Da Pixara decided to go out and snap some pictures that you can see here of the incredible phenomenon and called Cape Cod his sacred place to be creative. The gigantic chunks were labeled a once-in-a-generation happening, and those who got to go out to see them looked like they had fun, as you can see here. The beach at the town of Wellfleet in Massachusetts was basically transformed into some strange, apocalyptic-looking Arctic outpost with massive chunks of the ice the size of cars sitting on the shore, as you can see in this picture. Whew, pretty crazy. I wish I was there to see that. Screens just don't do it justice. Number 3. Valuable vomit. A couple in Australia way back in 2006 stumbled across something that was worth a fortune, and you'd probably never guess what it was. It's called ambergris, pictured here, which is a whale excretion that is used in various perfumes and is commonly known as floating gold. Leon and Laura Lee Wright were taking a stroll along a beach in South Australia near Streaky Bay while they were on a fishing trip when they spotted something strange. Leon inspected the object that resembled what you see in this picture and determined that it could be a cyst or something from some sizable marine animal and insisted on taking it home. Laura Lee refused, and they left it, but searched for it on the internet. Unable to find an answer, they went back and got it and described the object to an ecologist named Ken Jury, who immediately knew it could be ambergris, pictured here, a substance vomited up by a whale. He told the couples that it could get between $20 and $65 a gram, and that meant that theirs could fetch $295,000. That was 12 years ago, and I couldn't find what happened. But that's the internet for you. Number 2. Hairy blob. This super strange, funky looking thing you see in this picture washed up on a shore in the Philippines on the Dinagat Islands, and it left people a little more than confused. The perplexing creature seen here weighed in at more than 4,000 pounds and spanned right around 20 feet in length, which for an unidentified animal is pretty darn scary. The creature seemed to have long, white, shaggy hair and was almost alien-like in its appearance. Some people speculated that it could be half polar bear, half whale, but the head of Orca, a conservation and science protection group for dolphins and whales, Lucy Baby, believes that what you see in this picture is a severely decomposed sea creature in some of the later stages of decomposition. She thinks it's probably a whale or part of one, and that the hair is actually decomposed muscle fibers. All of this was eventually confirmed. What you see in this picture is a dead whale, missing its tail and rotting muscle fibers. Ugh, step back, that nasty. Number 1. Ow. Apparently, South Florida gets hit with a bunch of stuff that washes ashore on its beaches, but one thing that seems to stand out is the Portuguese man-of-war that tends to wash up every year. If you know anything about them, and you probably do from all the videos, you know what I'm saying, you'll know that they are stunning, but that they also deliver painful venomous stings with its long tentacles. These things look like jellyfish too, but they're not. The man-of-war is actually a colonial organism made up of a bunch of smaller organisms, called polyps or zooids, that work together as one thing. Pretty crazy stuff. These smaller zooids are unable to live independently, so they form this. And these things wash up on the shores of beaches along South Florida every year and sting the heck out of people. In February of 2018, on one Sunday, lifeguards treated 204 people for stings on beaches in Hollywood alone. It's common for the creatures to be blown inward and ashore when the winds shift inland, and that's bad news for anyone trying to have a fun day. Youch! This list is split right down the middle for me, from things I'd like to find on the beach, and then things I wouldn't want to find. I'd love to find me some ambergris, not so much a man of war. What about you? What would you like to come across washed up at a beach? If this video made you long for a vacation, give it a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and keep looking out for new videos coming your way soon.
More better.